Microtransactions are a common symptom of AAA sickness in modern video games, and perhaps the most infected company of all is Ubisoft. With 2 high-profile games due for release in the coming weeks, it should be no surprise that both of them will feature some form of additional monetization. In a recent blog post, Ubisoft has explained the monetization and Season Pass found in Watch Dogs Legion, which is due for release on the 29th of October. There's an in-game currency called Ito, which can be earned through gameplay and spent on cosmetics for your operatives such as jackets, shirts, and hats, as well as vehicle and weapon skins. This is the standard currency of the game world in place of pounds in this futuristic version of London and is earned by completing missions. The premium currency, however, is the creatively named WD credits and can be purchased with real cash, and Ubisoft is quick to point out that it's optional. The conversion rate for WD credits is 100 credits to $1 or whatever your regional equivalent is. WD credits can be used to buy additional cosmetics, Ito packs, a collectibles map, and operatives. That last one is the biggest issue for me, and it sounds remarkably similar to the situation with Shadow of War, where you could purchase new orcs at higher levels for a price. Many will quickly say, oh, it's only cosmetics, so it's fine, but it's really not. The core feature of Watch Dogs Legion is recruiting anyone from the open world to join your cyber terrorist cause. Each of these people will, supposedly, have unique looks, personalities, and abilities. A builder may come equipped with a hammer to deal more melee damage, while a paramedic will have the ability to enter hospitals undetected. Microtransactions in any full-priced game are always bullshit, but if you have the ability to buy entire operatives, that means that they do have gameplay effects and aren't cosmetic only. Ubisoft claims that these operatives will share gameplay features with others found in London, but that still doesn't change the fact that you can bypass searching for the right character because you can just buy them. Here's the direct quote from the website. Purchased operatives feature unique personalities, outfits, masks, and cosmetics to amp up your flair. Their gameplay abilities, traits, and weapons can be found on other Londoners around the city, and they do not offer any gameplay advantages compared with operatives recruited in the game. Okay, so let's say you need someone with a specific ability. Let's say the trait to be able to infiltrate enemy faction bases undetected. You could spend your time finding the right character, then carrying out their recruitment missions, and bingo, you've got your guy. His name is Barry, and he's a defector from the bad military guys known as Albion in the game. He's even got a bit of a backstory, and you've got much more of an attachment to him as you personally work to get him on your crew. With this store, you can skip all that, the core gameplay mechanic, and just pay to get the guy with the right skill. This guy is called Paul and has the exact same infiltration trait, but you've paid real money for him and skipped all the other stuff. The important thing here is the inevitable question of grind. How difficult will it be to get good operatives in the game world versus how easy or cheap it is to buy them outright? Most of the time with this type of monetization, the game deliberately makes it more difficult to do certain things to incentivize the microtransactions to skip over the grind, and that's an answer we won't have until reviews come out. If you can pay in any way to have any kind of gameplay effects, it still gives you an advantage in the game world, regardless of whether or not it's optional or just in single player. But then add to that the fact that Legion will have a multiplayer component, and it just gets worse. Will WD credits be spendable in the online arena? It's meant to be a co-op experience, but you'll still have an advantage over your partner in whatever missions you play. They're literally monetizing the core gameplay mechanic. Watch Dogs Legion's unique selling point is that you can recruit anyone, and they're adding a premium to it. The recruits may not have an advantage in terms of unique or stronger abilities, but the fact that they do have abilities means that you can just pay to get the one you need straight away. I mean, more fool you if not only are you pissing away your money on virtual jackets and hats, but you're also paying to not play the game's main feature. Ubisoft will obviously spin this as a time saver like they always do, but it's still bullshit. Speaking of time savers, I mentioned a collectibles map which can also be bought with WD credits. This is just another feature stripped out and sold back to you, and it is just as egregious. Ubisoft is known for stuffing its games so full of collectibles to the point where it's actually seen as a massive negative among the community, and now they've got the audacity to sell you the solution to the problem they created. I almost admire them for how bold they're being with this shit and just how many people will lap it all up. And I know I've used this clip before, but it just sums all of them up so perfectly.
I admire its purity. A survivor. Unclouded by conscience, remorse, or delusions of morality.
And of course, there's the old classic of announcing a season pass long before the game is even out. This gives you access to multiple story add-ons, a car skin, a digital copy of the first game, and several additional characters, including Aiden Pierce from the first game, Wrench from the second game, Mina, a girl with mind control powers, and Darcy, an assassin, officially crossing over the Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed universes. The game's campaign is currently being reworked, less than 10 days before launch I might add, to fit in Aiden Pierce as a potential solo character. This will make him a fully single-player character with unique dialogue, meaning that you won't have to keep switching between a bunch of randos. To me, this smells like they realised that while the concept of playing as anyone is a really cool idea, it doesn't exactly lend itself to a compelling and focused story, and they needed a specific character in the lead. But only those who pay more will actually get to experience it. Maybe these changes are solely for the DLC and the main campaign is good to go, but it just seems like Ubisoft can't help Ubisofting everything, even when they have a unique idea for once. I'm still interested in the game and still think it has serious potential to become a really unique sandbox, but all this additional monetization crap has certainly dampened my anticipation. Defenders of this sort of stuff are quick to say it's only optional and it's just cosmetic, but at the end of the day, there just shouldn't be microtransactions in full-priced games, and anyone who thinks buying operatives doesn't influence gameplay is kidding themselves. Maybe all of this can be ignored and there isn't a hefty grind to get new recruits, or all cosmetics can be bought in the game world as normal, but that still doesn't make it right. Then again, this is far from the worst offender when it comes to monetization, so I'm sure by comparison to stuff like the early days of Battlefront 2, all this really isn't a problem to some people. Ultimately, this is a case of waiting for reviews to see how long it takes to get a decent force of operatives together, or whether it's a massive grind and you really are expected to just pay. I'm hoping to receive a review code, but after this video, I think that may be a little unlikely. This story was meant to form part of a normal daily triple, but the more I wrote, the more I realized I should just make a dedicated video on it. Anyway, that's enough from me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with me that this sort of monetization is wrong, or am I just making a fuss out of nothing? Leave a like, hit subscribe, and the bell if you want to be notified about future installments. Toss a coin to your YouTuber over at patreon.com/prettygoodgaming to help us continue to produce these videos. I've been Henry Cooper. That's all for today. Bye for now.